Forget chasing them. Forget the late-night longing and unanswered texts. It's time they felt your absence so profoundly that their only choice is to come crawling back to you. This isn't about playing games. It's about reclaiming your power and igniting an irresistible force within yourself that is impossible to ignore. Have you ever been pushed aside, forgotten, or underestimated by someone who once claimed to value you? Perhaps you're dealing with the sting of rejection, watching someone drift away, not because you weren't enough, but because they failed to see the depth of your worth. It's a familiar script. Your attempts to pull them closer might only drive them further away. But today, we flip that script. This is about more than just getting their attention again. It's about understanding the psychology of attraction and detachment, wielding not just knowledge, but the profound wisdom of Stoic philosophy to transform how you are perceived. It's about becoming not just someone they remember, but someone they regret losing. Today, we transcend conventional advice and delve into the realms of dark psychology mixed with Stoicism, where you'll learn to cultivate your inner strength and become magnetic in ways you've never imagined. Why does this approach resonate so deeply? It's simple. Humans crave what they can't have. When you're too available, your value drops. But when you're an enigma, when you're a story left unfinished in their minds, that's when the tables turn. Your absence creates an echo that disrupts their world, compelling them to seek you out, to wonder, to want. Reclaiming your power starts with ending the chase. It begins the moment you decide not to fill your quiet nights with wishes of what could be, opting instead to sculpt your reality into one that attracts, one that commands, one that is pursued. This isn't about being unattainable, it's about being unforgettable. Stoicism teaches us that freedom comes from within, from mastering our reactions, from the resilience that is born of silence and strength. Picture this. Instead of spending another night over-analyzing their lack of responses, you channel your energy into facets of life that elevate your spirit and sharpen your mind. You cultivate peace that does not depend on their presence, but thrives in their absence. You build a life so compelling that they can't help but feel the gravitational pull back to you, not because you pleaded, but because you transformed into someone they no longer recognize. Someone stronger, wiser, and infinitely more attractive. Today, we embark on a journey to unleash the most potent version of yourself. We'll explore how dark psychology aligns with Stoic principles to craft a persona that is both invincible and irresistible. We're not just talking about strategies, we're talking about a revolution of the self, a transformation so profound that the thought of your absence becomes more powerful than any presence they've ever known. Stay with me as we dismantle the old paradigms of relationship dynamics and rebuild them with you at the core. By the end of our journey, not only will they come back, but you will also stand tall, no longer needing them to, because you will be the master of your emotions, your self-worth, and your life. The chase is over, and it's time they felt the full weight of what they walked away from. Let's begin. The power of affirmation lies in its ability to transform your thoughts, fortifying your mind with the resolve and confidence needed to turn intentions into reality. Affirmations align your vibration with the energy of success and personal empowerment. Here is your affirmation. I am a beacon of confidence. I encourage you to write this affirmation in the comments below. Embrace it, repeat it, and watch as it begins to manifest in your life. And please, if you find value in our content, hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. Your support is crucial as we continue working hard to bring you transformative insights and powerful strategies. Your engagement not only motivates us, but also helps others discover the power they have within. Thank you for being part of our community. Number 1. The flame. They can't outrun. Have you ever seen someone try to outrun their own shadow? It's futile. No matter how fast they move or how far they go, it's always there. A silent reminder of what they can't escape. Now, imagine you're not the shadow, but the flame. The warmth, the light, and the fire they didn't realize they needed until they felt the chill of life without you. This isn't about being a fleeting spark. It's about being the enduring fire that burns so deeply in their soul, they can't help but feel its pull, no matter how far they stray. As Rumi once said, "Don't be satisfied with stories, how things have gone with others. Unfold your own myth." You are that myth, the irreplaceable force of nature that they thought they could leave behind. But life has a way of reminding people what truly matters. When you embody your power, your value, and your unique essence, you become the one thing they can't replace. The flame that keeps them awake at night, realizing what they've lost. Think of a campfire on a cold, dark night. At first it's taken for granted, a comforting presence. But as people wander away from it, seeking adventure in the unknown, the cold begins to bite, and the darkness feels suffocating. That's when they realize the fire wasn't just warmth, it was survival, comfort, and clarity. You are that fire. By stepping back, by allowing them to experience the chill of your absence, you're not extinguishing yourself. You're letting them feel the irreplaceable heat you once provided. When it comes to relationships, people often underestimate the power of absence. They think they need to keep feeding the fire, chasing the person, proving their worth. But the truth is, your flame burns brightest when it's untethered by desperation. Let them wander. Let them feel the emptiness of the spaces you once filled. Your fire doesn't chase. It draws them in. It captivates, consumes, and ultimately makes them yearn for its warmth again. Here's a powerful shift to consider. Stop trying to convince them of your value. Instead, become so undeniable that their world feels incomplete without you. This isn't about playing hard to get. It's about embodying such strength, confidence, and emotional independence that your presence becomes a privilege, not a given. You're not a flickering candle in the corner, you're the bonfire that lights up an entire landscape, commanding attention and respect without asking for it. Imagine this. They're out in the world, meeting new people, exploring new experiences. At first, it feels exciting to them, something new always does. But then they realize something is missing. The laughter doesn't feel as genuine. The connection isn't as deep. The comfort is hollow. It's like trying to light a matchstick in the wind after knowing the unwavering blaze of a fire that once kept them warm. That's when it hits them. They didn't just lose someone, they lost you. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." In relationships, rejection, distance, or indifference can feel like obstacles. But what if you flip that perspective? What if their decision to pull away becomes the very force that propels you to rise higher? Your flame grows stronger not by chasing them, but by focusing on your own growth, your own power, and your own light. This is the beauty of mastering yourself. You don't need to demand attention or plead for validation. The very act of thriving without them makes your presence magnetic. When they see you living your life, radiating confidence, and building a future that doesn't include them, it forces them to confront their own choices. And just like the moth drawn to the flame, they'll feel compelled to return. Not because you ask them to, but because your light is irresistible. So, what's the next step? Stop stoking the fire for them. Stoke it for yourself. Build your passions. Deepen your purpose. Let your flame burn so brightly that it lights your path forward, whether they return or not. Because here's the truth. When you become that kind of fire, they won't just want you, they'll need you. And when they do come back, you'll decide if their place in your life still fits the version of you that you've become. Remember, you are not chasing, you are creating. You are not pleading, you are evolving, and you are not a fleeting moment in their life. You are the fire they can't outrun. Affirm this truth. I am the flame they can't forget. Write it in the comments below to solidify your commitment to this journey. And if you've found value in this life-changing lesson, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who needs to hear this. We're working tirelessly to bring you powerful, transformative content to help you reclaim your power. Let your light shine. It's time they felt the heat of your absence. Number 2. The pulse of unspoken longing. Have you ever noticed how silence between two people can be deafening, yet it carries a strange kind of power? It's not the absence of words, but the presence of something unspoken. An energy that lingers, a pulse that refuses to fade away. This is the pulse of unspoken longing. It's the connection they may deny, but one that refuses to let go, quietly beating beneath the surface of their thoughts. And here's the truth. When you master the art of silence and self-control, that pulse will grow louder in their mind, tugging at their heart until they can no longer ignore it. As the saying goes, the heart doesn't forget where it belongs. It simply learns the cost of leaving. In relationships, longing is not just a feeling, it's a magnetic force. When someone feels your absence, it's not because you've disappeared. It's because your presence still fills the empty spaces in their life. But to awaken this longing, you must first step back. You must let the silence speak, creating a void that only you can fill. This isn't manipulation. It's a testament to the power of self-respect and emotional strength. Think of it like a melody. When a song is playing constantly, its beauty fades into the background. But the moment the music stops, the silence feels heavy, and the listener becomes desperate to hear it again. You are that melody. Your presence is the rhythm they've taken for granted, and by stepping back, you allow them to feel the weight of your absence. Every shared laugh, every tender moment, every time you made their world brighter, they will feel it again, but this time as an ache. That ache is the pulse of unspoken longing, and it's your greatest ally. When you stop chasing, when you cease trying to convince someone of your worth, you create a powerful dynamic. You shift from being the one seeking validation to becoming the one who is sought after. This requires immense strength, but it's a strength you already possess. As the Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius said, the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. By focusing on yourself and embracing your value, you embody a presence so vibrant that they can't help but remember the joy, love, and peace you brought into their life. Imagine planting a seed in the soil. If you stand over it every day, watering it obsessively, you might drown it. But when you plant it, step back, and let nature take its course, the seed begins to grow. Relationships are similar. By stepping back and allowing space, you let the unspoken energy between you grow stronger. The silence becomes fertile ground for their emotions to take root and blossom into something undeniable. When they think of you, it won't just be as a memory, it will be as a question that needs answering. Why can't I stop thinking about them? Why do I feel this emptiness without them? That's the pulse of unspoken longing, and it grows louder when you master the art of emotional detachment. By focusing on yourself, your growth, your happiness, your independence, you become the person they can't ignore. You shift from being someone they left behind to someone they need in their life. This transformation isn't just about them, it's about you. You're not playing games or pretending to be someone you're not. You're stepping into your power, reclaiming your energy, and letting your presence or absence do the work for you. They will feel it, and when they do, they'll realize what they've lost. So, what do you do now? You let go of the need to chase. You let go of the need to explain yourself. You trust the pulse of unspoken longing to do its work. Focus on becoming the best version of yourself. Build a life that excites you, challenges you, and fills you with purpose. When they finally realize they can't escape the pull of your presence, they'll come back. But by then, you'll be in control. Remember, you are not just someone they miss. You are someone they regret losing. And that regret grows in the silence you leave behind. Write this affirmation in the comments. I am the silence they cannot forget. Say it, believe it, and embody it. If this resonates with you, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel so we can continue bringing you these life-changing lessons. Your growth is our mission, and together we'll make you unstoppable. Let's keep moving forward, stronger, wiser, and more magnetic than ever. Number 3. The irreplaceable rhythm. Every love story plays to a unique rhythm, a melody so distinct it can never be replicated. When you parted ways, did you ever consider that the beat of your relationship, the laughter, the conversations, the shared silences, created a music that resonated solely with you two? It's the irreplaceable rhythm of your connection, one that once lost leaves a noticeable silence in its wake. Consider the words of the poet Rainer Maria Rilke, who said, "The only journey is the one within." In the context of relationships, this journey is not just about finding love or rekindling romance, but about discovering the rhythm that made yours irreplaceable. It's about becoming so attuned to the music of your own growth and transformation that its echo reaches them, no matter the distance. When they try to find that rhythm with someone else, they'll notice something's amiss, not because you're irreplaceable by nature, but because the dance you dance together cannot be danced the same way with anyone else. The power of a truly unique relationship lies in its unscripted moments, the way you could communicate with just a glance across the room, or a smile that said everything. Now, imagine harnessing that same unspoken understanding, but directing it inward. You begin to move to your own beat, mastering the art of self-sufficiency and emotional resilience. You create a life that is as rich and full as a symphony played by an orchestra, where every instrument, every note contributes to a greater whole. You are the composer and the conductor. Your life is the music. As you evolve, your inner growth becomes a melody that plays subtly in the background of your ex-partner's life. They can't help but sense the void, the shift in the music of their existence without you. It's like walking out of a concert hall still vibrating with the performance's intensity, only to find the world outside is uncomfortably quiet. The stark contrast makes the heart grow fonder, and slowly, the realization dawns on them. The rhythm they had with you was unique, a rare melody that once lost, echoes endlessly in its absence. And so, let's not dwell on the silences. Let's fill them with the music of our personal growth, with the harmony of self-love and the rhythms of a life well lived. Let this newfound composition be so captivating that it draws them back, not out of necessity, but out of a desire to experience the music again. Let them come back, not because you need them to, but because they recognize what they walked away from. The symphony of a true connection, enriched and deepened by time apart. As we close, remember this affirmation: I am the composer of my life's symphony. Write it down, repeat it, believe in it. This is not just a line. It's your reality. You orchestrate your happiness, your value, and yes, the rhythm of your relationships. If you found resonance in these words, if you feel the beat of your own transformation starting to take shape, hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel and join us on this journey of personal evolution and relational revolution. We're here creating life-changing lessons because we believe in the power of change, in the power of music within you. Let's continue to grow together. And now, in the comments below, I invite you to share that powerful affirmation: I am the composer of my life's symphony. Let it be your declaration of independence and your first step back to a life where they irresistibly come crawling back. Number 4, the light. They can't dim. Have you ever noticed how the sun never asks anyone to look at it? It simply shines, and its light commands attention. The same applies to you. You are that light. They might try to dim it, walk away from it, or take it for granted. But the truth is, they can't escape the warmth and brilliance you bring to their world. Even if they look away, even if they act indifferent, your light continues to shine, unshaken and unyielding. And that light, the unique glow of your presence, your kindness, your depth, will eventually be the one thing they miss most. As the great philosopher Marcus Aurelius said, "Dwell on the beauty of life, watch the stars, and see yourself running with them." You are a star in their life, a light so rare, so captivating, that its absence will leave a void no one else can fill. But the trick isn't to force them to see it. It's to keep shining, no matter what. Imagine a lighthouse standing tall amidst a storm. The waves crash against its base, the winds howl, but its light never falters. It doesn't chase ships to show its value. It simply remains steadfast, guiding those who seek its brilliance. That's your role in their life. The more you embody that unwavering light, the more they'll realize just how irreplaceable you are. In relationships, people often mistake availability for value. They think being ever-present, always agreeable and constantly chasing will make someone appreciate them. But that's not how attraction works. When you're too available, they start taking you for granted. They think the light you bring is replaceable. But here's the truth. Your light is unique. It's the kind of light that brightens their darkest moments, the kind of warmth they won't find elsewhere. The more you stay true to your essence, the more they'll notice what they've lost when they're surrounded by darkness. Think about the moon and the sun. During the day, the moon fades into the background, overshadowed by the sun's presence. But when night falls, the moon becomes the most captivating thing in the sky. Its light, borrowed from the sun, still enchants us. In the same way, even if they distance themselves, they will carry your light with them, reflecting it in ways they don't even realize. And as they drift further into their own darkness, they'll come to see that it was your light keeping their world bright. Don't dim yourself to make them comfortable. Don't shrink your radiance to fit into their shadow. Shine brighter. Invest in yourself, your passions, your dreams, your growth. Every step you take toward becoming the best version of yourself makes your light more dazzling, more magnetic. When they see you thriving without them, when they realize that your happiness is self-sufficient, they won't just miss you. They'll crave to be part of your glow again. Remember, the sun doesn't stop shining because someone chose to walk in the shade. Your light is your power, your strength, and your gift to the world. Let them walk away. Let them search for substitutes. They'll soon discover that no one else brings the warmth and brilliance you do. And when they do, they'll find themselves drawn back, not because you begged or chased, but because your light was something they couldn't escape. The universe has a way of magnifying those who know their worth. When you embrace your own brilliance, when you stop dimming yourself to please others, you create an energy so powerful it becomes impossible to ignore. They will see it, they will feel it, and they will regret ever trying to extinguish what was never theirs to control. So stand tall, like the lighthouse. Shine unapologetically, like the sun. Let your presence be a reminder of what they've lost, and let your growth be the beacon that draws them back, crawling to you. Your light isn't just your strength. It's your legacy, the undeniable proof that you are irreplaceable. Repeat after me. I am the light they can't dim. Write it in the comments below to affirm your power. Let the world know you're done chasing and dimming yourself for anyone. And if you found this lesson life-changing, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who needs to hear this. We're working hard to bring you lessons that don't just inspire, but transform. You deserve to shine. Let them see it. Number 5. The unwritten future. Imagine standing at the brink of a blank page. This is where your story continues, not where it dwindles. The chapters that were meant to define you are behind you, and ahead lies the unwritten future. This is not just another turn in your journey. It's the moment you grab the pen and start dictating the narrative. Your past may have sculpted part of your character, but it's your actions now that will etch the path forward. As the author of your destiny, you hold the power to redefine the plot of your life and, inevitably, how they perceive your absence. Every next level of your life will demand a different you. This profound insight encapsulates the essence of your transformation. When someone steps out of your life, leaving a void, you face two choices: fill this space with longing for what was, or build within it a new foundation so robust that its very architecture draws them back to marvel at what you've become. In the echoes of what used to be, your newfound silence doesn't just speak, it roars, painting your resilience in the boldest colors of growth and independence. In relationships, especially those tinged with separation, it's easy to become a passive observer of your own life. Yet the future isn't written by the hands of fate, but by your own actions. When they look back, let them not see the person who waited for them to write the next line, but the one who crafted a narrative so compelling it became irresistible. It's in your solitude and in the stark absence of your voice that your story finds its most potent voice. Consider the tree that stands alone on the hill, battered by winds, yet unbowed. Each season, it grows new leaves, irrespective of who is there to admire them. Be like this tree. Your growth and flourishing must be for yourself first. Your roots must dig deep into self-discovery, and your branches must reach high into personal achievements. When they return, drawn by the lush canopy of your transformation, they'll find shade under a tree they no longer recognize, but desperately need. Your narrative does not pause because their chapter ended. On the contrary, this is where you build suspense, introduce new characters, and explore uncharted territories of your persona. Let the mystery of your evolution pique their curiosity. Let the richness of your solo journey make them wish they never left the plot. As you rewrite your future, remember, the best way to predict your future is to create it. Do not sit idly by, waiting for them or fate to draft your days. Seize your narrative with both hands and write a story so full of life and vibrancy that they feel compelled by a mix of awe and regret to turn back to you. And as we reach the crescendo of your rebirth, let me leave you with these words of power and an affirmation to carry in your heart. I am the architect of my future. Repeat this. Let it echo through your actions and be felt in your silence. Write it down in the comments below to affirm your commitment to yourself. Remember to hit that like button if this message resonates with you, and subscribe to our channel for more transformative insights. We are committed to bringing you life-changing lessons that empower you to become the curator of your own destiny. Be the master of your story, the hero of your own epic. Your future isn't just a chance, it's a choice. Make it extraordinary. Number 6, the memory they can't escape. Have you ever noticed how certain songs, scents, or fleeting moments can instantly transport you back to someone you thought you had forgotten? That's the power of memory. It's relentless, untamed, and impossible to escape. Memories aren't just fragments of the past. They are living echoes that linger in the corners of the mind, quietly whispering of what once was. And if you've ever truly touched someone's heart, you've left a mark they can't erase. As the great poet Khalil Gibran said, "The most beautiful things in life are not seen, but felt in the heart." The same applies to you. Your presence isn't just remembered in words or actions. It's felt in the spaces between, in the quiet moments when their world feels hollow without you. When you step back and stop chasing, that's when your memory starts to work its magic. It becomes the gentle haunting that stirs their thoughts at midnight, the invisible thread tugging at their heartstrings, compelling them to wonder if they made the right choice by letting you go. Think of memory as a wildfire. At first, it's just a spark, a faint flicker they might ignore. But over time, as life grows quiet and the distractions fade, that spark catches fire. It burns brightly, illuminating everything you were to them, everything you brought into their lives that no one else can replicate. You don't have to fan the flames. They'll do that on their own, revisiting every laugh, every touch, and every word you once shared. That's the power of being unforgettable. Imagine you were a lighthouse in their storm, a steady light guiding them through the chaos of their life. Maybe they thought they no longer needed your light, but now that it's gone, they realize how dark their world has become. Each moment without you is like a sailor lost at sea, yearning for the one beacon that gave them direction and warmth. You're not just a memory. They'll come to realize you were their anchor, their safe harbor. Memories also have a way of amplifying what's missing. When you pull back, when you focus on yourself, they are left to wrestle with the void. And that void grows louder with time. They may try to fill it with others, with distractions, with anything to avoid facing the truth. But it won't work. The shadow of your absence looms too large. This isn't manipulation. It's human nature. We cherish what we lose, especially when we realize it was irreplaceable. You are that irreplaceable presence. But to awaken the power of memory, you must first stop being so readily available. Silence isn't empty. It's filled with potential. Each unanswered call, each text you don't send, becomes a ripple in their thoughts. Why aren't you chasing them? Why does their life feel so much quieter now? Questions like these don't just linger, they grow, becoming impossible to ignore. And in those questions, they'll find the answer. They miss you. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. When you focus on yourself, when you thrive in their absence, their thoughts begin to color their world with the memory of you. They see your face in the crowd, hear your voice in the silence, and feel the weight of what they lost. Every new encounter they have is shadowed by your presence, because you are the standard they now measure everyone else against. But here's the key. You don't just want to live in their memories. You want to become the one they can't live without. And that starts with your own transformation. Use this time to become a better, brighter version of yourself. When they do reach out, and they will, you'll no longer be the same person they took for granted. You'll be stronger, wiser, and even more captivating than before. Remember, the power of memory isn't just in what they think about you, but in what they feel they've lost. Let them feel it. Don't chase, don't explain, don't plead. Instead, step back and let your absence do the work. They'll come crawling back, not because you begged, but because you became someone they simply couldn't forget. So today, take this affirmation with you. I am unforgettable, and my absence is felt more deeply than my presence ever was. Write it in the comments below as a declaration of your worth and power. Let the world and yourself know that you are not someone who fades into the background. If this resonates with you, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. We're dedicated to bringing you lessons that transform not just your relationships, but your entire outlook on life. Together, we're building strength, resilience, and confidence that lasts. Let's make them remember who you truly are. Number 7. The strength they never expected. When they walked away, they expected to see you crumble, to witness your descent into despair. But what happens when the ground you were supposed to fall upon becomes the very stage for your rise? This is the story of unexpected strength, of a spirit that refuses to be extinguished. Out of suffering have emerged the strongest souls. The most massive characters are seared with scars, remarked Khalil Gibran. Just as a phoenix rises from its ashes, so too does your inner strength become visible only after the fire has tried to consume you. Imagine the shock, the sheer bewilderment on their face when, instead of finding you broken, they discover you thriving, transformed into an entity of unanticipated power and allure. It's not just about moving on, it's about moving up. In the dance of life and love, you were the partner left standing when the music stopped, but instead of waiting for the tune to resume, you began to sing your own melody, a tune so captivating that it cannot be ignored. This is your journey of metamorphosis, from the flames of past pains to the beauty of renewed purpose and strength. In the realm of relationships, where emotions play the lead role, your newfound strength is your most compelling act yet. It's the unexpected plot twist that catches them off guard, the character they underestimated now commanding the stage, with a presence so potent it pulls them back into the narrative, this time with a new respect and a sense of awe. They begin to realize that the person they left is not the person standing before them now. This person before them is stronger, wiser, and radiating a confidence that is both alluring and intimidating. Strength does not come from winning. Your struggles develop your strengths. When you go through hardships and decide not to surrender, that is strength, Arnold Schwarzenegger once said. Your journey echoes these words. Each setback you faced in your relationship was not a step back, but a setup for a grander comeback. Each tear that fell watered the seeds of your resilience, growing a garden of self-worth that no frost of rejection could wither. As they witness your ascent, let them grapple with the realization that the person they once knew is now someone remarkable. Let them feel the gravity of what they've lost and the weight of what you've gained. Your strength is not just in overcoming, but in becoming someone who does not just survive the storms, but who commands the winds. So, to those who have felt the sting of abandonment, To those who have been overlooked or underestimated, remember this: your greatest strength often rises from the ashes of your greatest adversity. Embrace this transformation and let your newfound power shine so brightly that it becomes impossible for them not to notice, impossible for them to stay away. End this chapter of your journey not with a question of what might have been, but with a declaration of what will be. Stand tall, stand proud, and as you face forward to the horizon of your life's potential, affirm to yourself and proclaim, "I am my own strength." Now, if this message resonates with you, if you feel the fire of your own resurgence within, I urge you to drop a comment below with the affirmation, "I am my own strength." Hit that like button to support our channel, and don't forget to subscribe for more life-changing lessons. Together, let's build a community where strength is forged through the trials and triumphs of love and loss. Number 8. The soul they can't replace. Have you ever wondered why some people are impossible to forget? Why, despite time, distance, or even new relationships, certain souls linger in the corners of our hearts? It's because some connections are deeper than attraction. They're imprinted on the soul. No matter how far someone runs, no matter how much they try to replace you, a soul that touched theirs cannot be forgotten. You become the constant in a world filled with temporary faces. You become the standard they didn't realize they needed until you're gone. In the game of love and relationships, people often believe they can trade old emotions for new ones, thinking they can find better. But a soul connection isn't something you upgrade, it's something you feel. It's something that burns into memory with every shared moment, every secret exchanged, every glance that said more than words ever could. They can try to replace you, but all they'll find are echoes of what they lost, because you are the original, the one they can't recreate. As the ancient Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." In relationships, the soul becomes colored by experiences shared, emotions felt, and memories made. You didn't just occupy a space in their life. You shaped a piece of their reality. And when someone has felt the depth of your soul, your love, your loyalty, your passion, they will seek that same energy in others, only to be met with hollow imitations. Imagine being the ocean after they've grown used to shallow streams. At first, they might find comfort in the simplicity of something new, something less demanding, something easier. But soon, the emptiness of the shallow waters will leave them craving the depth, power, and infinite mystery of the ocean they left behind. Your soul, with all its depth and complexity, will become the standard they compare everyone else to, and no one will quite measure up. You are not replaceable. You are a once-in-a-lifetime experience, a masterpiece of emotions, strength and vulnerability, intertwined. You are the one whose soul speaks in a language only they understand, whose presence leaves an undeniable mark. They can search the world for someone like you, but they will only find reflections of what they lost. Consider the stars in the night sky. They seem countless, shimmering in their own beauty. But there's always one star that shines brighter, one that draws the eye no matter how crowded the sky becomes. You are that star. You are the one they will keep looking for, even if they don't realize it at first. They might convince themselves that moving on is easy, but their heart knows the truth. Deep connections are etched into the soul, impossible to erase. Even when they try to distract themselves, fill the void, or suppress the memories, the soul remembers. It remembers the way your voice felt like home, the way your laugh lit up the darkest days, the way your support felt like an unshakable foundation. Time doesn't heal that. It highlights it. The further they run, the more they'll feel the absence of your presence, the emptiness only you can fill. So stop worrying about whether they've found someone new. Stop questioning your worth based on their temporary distractions. The real you, the essence of your soul, is something they'll carry with them for the rest of their lives. Let them search. Let them try to forget. In the end, souls don't forget what made them feel truly alive. You are irreplaceable. Your depth, your passion, your love. It's a rare gift in a world obsessed with what's easy and convenient. You are the unforgettable story they'll tell themselves when no one else compares. Rise in your power, knowing you're not competing. You've already won a place in their heart that no one else can occupy. Here is your affirmation. I am the soul they can't replace. Drop this affirmation in the comments below. Let the world know that your value isn't up for